Hello, hi. I'm Patricia McNeilly. I'm an Illumined Blu-ray twin flame from Chicago, Illinois, and I am a Rod and Staff Union. How are you today? Today, I have several things to talk to you about. The topic of which is the Divine Masculine wants to help you with money and love. And it might be in that order for some of you. It might be money and love, or it might be love and money. Not confusing sex with the love, and using the love to be able to get connections with money, love, and the divinity of each other by using some of this masculine energy and the wave of the masculine coming in. So when it comes to things at the human level, this is where sometimes things are still getting aligned. And there are reasons for it because the past has complicated things. Things have been tangled up, things have been woven and tangled and crushed and broken promises. There's a lot of things that have happened throughout history as well. Some of it's been caused by the masculine, some of it's been caused by the feminine. We're at the point of no pointing fingers, no laying blame, but how do we work it? How do we resolve it? And how do we elevate it? That's the main thing. So for some of you who are in twin flame land, or some of you that are just finding this out, if this is something that you may have been in a spiritual journey or what you considered a spiritual awakening, only to find out it is truly a twin flame journey, welcome to you. This time frame here that we're in is me time. This is me time in this retrograde energy because you have seeds inside you. Those seeds are your DNA. This is sometimes referred to as DNA activation. It is also more than this because beyond your DNA, there are codes. There are key codes to each other that only you and your twin flame have access to. These key codes pertain to experiences that you've had, experiences you'd like to have again, and not only connections, but connections and templating for places you'd like to go to. Some of those places are not here, but you're still living here. So how does this all kind of pertain to what's going on here and now for you and the people in the first three waves? Because in some ways it doesn't matter. Are you in the first wave, second wave, third wave? You're at various speeds of experiencing things and getting prepared. Preparation is a number one priority because the things that you want, you must be prepared for. And there's reasons for that also. And the reason has to do with the being that you truly are, not just the human side of you, but the other parts of you. So once these seeds are activated, you must open them and thrive, and only you can align with your twin. How do you do that? Because some of you are trying to do it with your words. You're trying to do it through the ego mind. You're trying to do it through telepathy. That's not how it works. It works through the body. You have channels, you have connections that are joint connections, you have areas that you share and that you should share, and areas that you will merge or need to merge. So this is boiling down to a body thing. It is your light body. Also, the next thing, 5D. A lot of people are saying, well, I know about 5D. I've maybe seen it, felt it, sensed it. Okay, that level is your new normal. But getting there together, that is why you're integrating, and that is why it's up to you. You must make the footholds from the 5th to the 8th. This includes your shields. This includes not letting your channels get constricted. Allowing your channels with each other to get constricted does several things. It puts people into depression. It can give you a sense of mild false fibromyalgia or things that happen with your nerves. Particularly for females, it's going to be around the rib cage, the hips, the throat. And for males, it tends to be in the lower back, the knees. And if you feel that you have aspects of both, you may be feeling it in all these places. Another place that males feel it is quite literally the heart. This is why men tend to be more prone to heart attacks than females. Although females are catching up, and it's also why males and females will exhibit different symptoms if they're about to have a heart attack. We don't wish heart attacks on people. We want the heart chakra to open and thrive, must open and thrive. This is a part of my early on work that I started 10 years ago, doing heart chakra activation workshops for people. I'm very familiar with the body. I help people to move their energies. Not only do I help people move their energies, we focus on removal of relationships that don't belong and relationships that you really don't want to carry with you. Are you here to carry other people? I mean, really, who do you want? Let's put it this way. Who do you want in your bedroom? I hope it's just you and your twin. If it's a whole bunch of people, well, you're going to have to go back to the drawing board, and that may or may not be what your higher self wants. Some people do have this as one of their wishes, and some people get very surprised by their twin when their twin brings up other people. So that too is something also, because the transparency goes in stages as well. It's not just that this goes in stages. So there's a lot of breaking down of patterns here, a lot of relationship patterns. And this will include especially relationships to sex, money, love, and how things have been done and how some things need to continue to break down. If you feel like you're going through a breakdown, you're probably breaking some things down, but how do you get out of it? So this year we have some very strong planetary influences. Okay, there are 5 masculine planetary retro influences just this year, and especially this month. Okay, your body has connections to these places. These are not just random things happening to you. These are not just random energies buffeting you. These are like you being in a body of water and being buffeted around, or being like, it's like turbulence on an airplane or something. How do you smooth it out? How do you get your seeds cleared and opened and activated? Okay, how do you know about this? You have to also be able to do the proper angelic breathing. Now, for people that have had breathing problems throughout their life, for a lot of you, this is going to be your time. If you've been prone to asthma, cardiopulmonary issues, those issues run in your family. I myself was asthmatic as a child, and I had my triggers. Stress was one of them, anger was one of them, but it was also certain foods, environments, and also animals, certain animals. Now, I have not only healed those and completely gotten rid of them. As a child, I had to learn to breathe because it felt like life or death. So for a lot of you, you may have gotten yourself through some of the things that feel like this is life or death, or I'm dying 1,000 deaths, or I'm just dying. I feel like I'm dying. Something's going on and I don't know what it is. My body is giving out. Yes, it is. And I would like you to come and find out what that's all about, because even if I say to you, well, this is what it is, it's not giving you the tools you need to maintain and thrive. Why? Because you must be able to go to the 5th to the 9th, the 5th to the 8th dimensional footholds at first. So let me put this here. For some of you, this is going to look a little bit familiar. You are the living bridges from 5D into, well, it's not really 3D, it's more like a higher version of 4D, okay? The physical plane, okay, physical life. Okay, at the physical life level, you still have responsibilities. At the very least, you have yourself, okay? You have to make sure that you eat. You have to make sure you have a roof over your head. You don't want to just survive. You don't want to go live in a box somewhere. Maybe you're tired of being, on the dole, what's called on the dole, or benefits or something like that, but you don't know what to do. Okay, and I help bring this out of people. I have actually helped many people jumpstart not just their health, but their well-being and their abundance. Because, it's all connected to love. Love has all those connections to the things you need for enjoyment and being together. Okay, so 5D is another physical living level. Okay, your 5D. For a lot of you, that's normal because you've already lived there. You lived there in the Pleiades. You lived there here on Earth. Earth has had a fifth dimensional level. Those levels were Atlantis, Lemuria, and there was also another one that goes way back about 1 million years that was more of just above the surface. Some of you have connections to other planetary systems, and some of you have connections to the next galaxy. Now that's where it gets interesting, because that's where some of the rubber meets the road for some people. You've been rescuers, you've been first responders, you've been between lives assisting others, and now it's your time. What do you do about that? Come and find out. Come and find out how to make your footholds, because you have levels here. You have the physical plane of where you're still living now. Okay, this is where your family, your kids, your friends are, your social life, your job, your career, your calling. You have 5D, okay, but you yourself are your own living bridges. You have your dream time, okay. You have the creative realms of 7 and 8. These two areas have a lot to do with what? That's the sacred lovemaking, okay? When you're here, this is sacred lovemaking time. That's why you're making the footholds. I call them footholds because you have to be able to shoot for something and, make it secure. You make it secure inside your body so that you can be together. Being means being in the mode of being the angelic you are. Not just being a nice person, although that's part of it. Not just being a polite person, not just minding your bedside manner and how you talk to each other, although that's definitely a part of it. You won't be carrying those old patterns. It is about being the proper angelic that you are, okay? Whatever your responsibilities are on Earth. And so let's talk a little bit about how does this happen, because there's things and clues out there, not just the messages you get. You could look at song titles. You could look at song lyrics. You can look at the lyrics of films. I'm sorry, the dialogue in films. You can look at the titles of films and see what gets greenlighted. Yes, there's a lot of garbage out there, okay? It's someone's idea of what they would like to present, but there's a lot of good stuff where the clues are there, okay, of the direction we're going in. And I don't just mean spiritually based films. I'm talking mainstream films. A lot of you know it, okay? You've compiled lists of this is a great film, that's a great film. You also have topics. Now, I myself, the topics of several of my videos and the topics of my webinars have been giving you a progression of what is happening now, what is happening now, what is happening now. The things that I recommend and present are because that's the time you're in now. It's time to focus on that. Right now, it's a time to focus on your wings. How do you do that? I have the way for you to do that, because it is several things. It's not just doing this and wishing, wishing, wishing. It's not doing that. That's not going to cut it. It's not by pulling a card, okay? The card might soothe your mind, okay? There's nothing wrong with cards, but it doesn't happen just by doing that. It has to happen with you being proactive. And I'm going to keep hammering this. So I'm ready to, keep saying it and keep helping people. That's what I'm here for. Keep helping people. And so if you take some of this masculine energy, 5 planetary retrograde influences, okay? You have just this month, you have Jupiter stations on the 11th. We're in Mars. The Mars retro started in June, and we're already in it. Some of this feels like a Mercury retrograde for some people, but we also have a Mercury retrograde coming up. The Mercury retrograde officially starts the 25th, but for some of you, it's already starting. And it's in Leo. That's fire. You know what that means? What that's going to mean right now is tempers, heated stuff, arguments with people, breakdowns, tempers, misunderstandings about sex and relationships, misunderstandings about money and love and relationships and who is going to do what. I mean, it's going to be drama, love drama that is, flares up. Leo is different than Scorpio. Scorpio's like the okay, that'll get you when you least expect it. Leo is the fire. Leo, if anyone knows Leos, okay, you're going to know they can be fiery sometimes. Sometimes it's a good thing when you like things spicy, but otherwise it can burn. It can burn. So we're leaving the eeriness of the mind and we are getting down to practicalities. Okay, this masculine energy in the retro, I've been feeling the retros is almost like a rewind. Rewind, push back, see what do you have to address, even while things push forward for you, because we continue to move forward. I'm going to use the airport analogy again, but here in a different way. Have you ever had those people movers at the airport? Do you ever get when it stops? Okay, one thing I like to do is, as I get to the end of the people mover sidewalk, the electric sidewalk, run, and you fling yourself off of it. But it's a shock because you actually slow down to normal level. That's what some of this retrograde energy is doing. It will slow your life in some ways, even while you're still moving. Your union is moving, your twin is helping things to move, but you have to help you, and hence help your twin. That's how you do it. So we have Mars. We already have Saturn. Saturn's the masculine energy that brings order to the chaos. Okay, making things orderly, making it organized again. Okay, and you might say, well, that's kind of the feminine. Well, yeah, the feminine does this by being supported by the masculine. And yet, where is that support coming from? It has to come from within, because the divine masculine is in you also. You are connected to your twin. Your twin is connected to you. You have an eternal heart connection. You also have the Jupiter energy, okay? The Jupiter is going to make you focus on things like skills, skill sets. What would you really like to do? And again, one of the things with this retrograde energy where we've really started it is what I call, part of what Saturn does is a blessing in disguise, okay? And this has actually happened to me in the past where a door couldn't open until one door closed, that kind of thing. I was at a job and, I was reluctant to leave. I was pushed out. They went through a merger and it was pretty much like heads rolled. And that was that. However, shortly after that, a door opened. But if I had still been there, and I was sort of sad about it, and you will be sad about things. You will go through some grief, but this is not debilitating grief and sadness. This is going to be a momentary, oh, what just happened? Why this? Why at the 11th hour? Why? Okay, and you pick yourself up and get moving with it. If you don't know how, come and find out. That is what I'm here to help you with. So how do you do this where you've got 5 masculine influences which are intended to be positive? How do you know this? First of all, your activation, your angelic breathing. We already passed through energy where it's time to focus on airy things, mental things, concepts, things like that, sticking to what you know. Now it's physical. Chest compression, throat compression, tightness here. bloated feelings, illnesses coming up, seemingly random things that come up. It's not opportunistic. It's coming up for a reason. Some of it is along the lines of ancestral illnesses, but how do you determine what's yours and what's your twins? How do you not feel so affected by whatever your twin decides to do or goes through, even while you're connecting and integrating? I know how to help you with that. You have also indications through the knees. Do you have sticky knees, pains in your knees, pains in your shoulders, pains in your hips, pains in your ankles or feet? Do your feet feel like they're bolted to the floor? Those are all indications. Pain can be a motivator, but you're not intended to live in pain. A lot of people like to do pain displacement too. That's not what it's going to do. A lot of people like to project their stuff onto other people. That's not going to cut it either. Okay, that's not going to cut it. You're fifth dimensional beings, and no longer is it appropriate. It once was fourth dimensional. So I do this now. The one feminine influence for sure within this is Gaia. Gaia, Earth, Mother Earth. And Mother Earth wants to help all the feminine with these positive masculine influences with things like hip pain, back pain, menstrual cycles, childbirth. Do you want to go through what your grandma went through? Do you want to have the kind of marriage, that some of you have seen with your ancestors? That's not what you're here for. This ain't your grandmama's marriage. I'll tell you that. This is your divine marriage. And this is where you are partners. Now, we've been seeing some of the equalizing influence here in the world. Women in Saudi Arabia just got their driver's licenses. And you have a lot of support from men in that country. You also have people that want to be old school about it. Okay, that's what we call it here in the United States, old school, like old fashioned. Okay, and they will. But a lot of people struggle with change. People that are old school, sometimes they want to hang on to those nostalgic feelings. They remember it as a time when things were better maybe or simpler. And we're not staying there. You're not staying there. Most importantly, you are not staying there. You are the angel. You are the one who is upgrading here. Okay? And these are the first realms that you need to connect with. There are things that go with it. The polarity shift, dualistic things. You have also your body, okay? Your body is a brand new body. Your human body is the latest prototype of it. If you look at anthropology or you go to the museum and you look at skeletons and you can say, why did that human skeleton look like that? Why did that one look like that? You have the newest prototype of a human skeleton and human body. Okay, why wouldn't you have the newest prototype of the angelic body? The template for 5D living exists inside you and above you. I am here to help you bridge this. So I actually do have a brand new session that is rather involved. I mean, this takes a good hour and a half to do this session. I do it over Zoom. I record it so that you can practice as well. I get information on supplementation to support you, what to do, how to move. And it is my Divine Masculine Feminine alignment session to help you release 4D, to help you release some of these situations you might have going on. Hip pain, chest pain, illnesses, the human level illnesses, and getting yourself twined with each other, getting yourself to a level where the merges can begin to happen a lot easier than you may believe. You may believe that this is sort of, something that is why you're here. And some of you are saying, I'm not really sure why I'm here. The way that you tell is through your body. If your body is having things happen, come and get some energy work, energy body work. Try my new session. The description is below. And there's also a description on my website. My website is www.twinflamesmerge.com. Okay, I will write that here. twinflamesmerge.com. I already have these footholds myself with my union. One of the first ways that I knew I was already in my union, okay, and this was before I met my twin, was that we had the same sentiments. These weren't thoughts, but waves of emotion, waves of pictures that spoke 1,000 words between us. And it brought tears to me because I realized, we really are. That's what we are. It's been going on for me even before the full awareness of this. So if you feel that my divine masculine feminine alignment session will be helpful for you, reach out to me. We will set up a time for you that fits your schedule and your time zone. I'm able to do this with people, and please know you are intended to move into a new level. There is a time deadline on some of the things that are happening for people. That's why the retrogrades. So when I explain the retrograde, I want to let you know this may feel very random to you. It's not random. It's as you come into alignment, and if you're able to look out in the night sky, you will see that things align. Of course, retroaction is it is sort of a visual thing where things look like they go backwards on their orbit. But energetically, it's sort of a pushback to review, rewind, to get some things that you're able to do. I can genuinely say to you that in 2014, I was not able to do this because I myself had to make my footholds to 5D so that I could be the 5D twin flame healer for both of you and reconnector, and to help you ease your human body into things. I had to do that. I had to go through it. That is another thing to know, is that by going through this, only one of you actually needs to. So it would be well worth it to you to make an investment in yourself, in your union, and hence accelerate some things. We feel where are the blocks? Where are the blockages of energy? What's keeping things sticky? What's keeping things from communicating properly? What's keeping things from being gentle, kind, and loving and considerate? And furthermore, loyal and brave and courageous and with integrity and love. Okay, all of those things are necessary components to have the passionate love story that is your birthright. Okay, at a higher level, in some of these other realms here, in some of these realms, you're not hindered by the human body or all the things we have to have here, by children and by, vehicles breaking down. Things will still break down. Bones will get broken with falls, and vehicles will still rust, and, planes will still need maintenance, and corporations will still need to do inventory. And, there's a lot of gears turning in the world. If you have a different perspective, you'll begin to see this. But even if you don't see it, feel it. Feel it at the personal level. Get yourself in the me time. Okay. You can also ask someone to help you with this. Okay. So I have this session, okay, the Divine Masculine Feminine Alignment session. I have my Lionsgate webinar from new moon to new moon. This is an online 5-week class where we do get your energies moving. You will learn a lot. It's to support you through the Lionsgate. The Lionsgate is going to be a big push for a lot of people. Push does not equal bad. Okay. Push just means sort of a, when something crescendos and you land somewhere. Okay. That's a push. That's a push forward. Some of you are feeling propelled. The giant tractor beam is in your heart. And the body is new. The 5D template of relationship that exists is what you're integrating. And there's simultaneous things happening that make it very confusing for people. And messages get confusing and words get confusing because we're not only using different words, there's different languages in the world. People get hung up with that too. When is my twin going to say this word to me? They may never say that word, but they will say it in their way. Okay, don't seek those things of the mind. Seek the sensations of the body. Love is a sensation and a feeling. You can say the word love, it's insufficient. In fact, if you say it in English, people say, do you mean family love? Do you mean brotherly love? Do you mean romantic love? Do you mean passionate love? Do you mean that you love ice cream? What does love mean? And some people will even say, love doesn't exist. And some people beyond that will say, love hurts. This is BS. But I'm going to say to you, pure and real love actually does exist. You're throwing away the garbage and find out where things are blocked. Find out how to get yourselves into a deeper alignment so that you can not only feel supported properly by the divine masculine, but that you can actually further it and help each other to flow together. Okay. That is something that I do help you with. The information is below and on my website. So thanks so much for watching. Don't let the retrogrades get you down. Please have a wonderful week and bye now.